A new study just published in the Annals of Plastic Surgery from Johns Hopkins shows that there is not necessarily an association between folks who have a higher BMI and serious complications after top surgery. This is an awesome study. They looked at a large number of patients, 2,300, by looking at databases and seeing is there any association with serious complications. It's a very powerful study and hopefully will influence practice in the future. Now, this is something I've been saying for a long time. When it comes to top surgery, I don't have a BMI limit, and I actually published my own experience in this in 2019, and what I found was up until a BMI of 40 there was no difference. Above a BMI of 40 we did see some increase in minor complications. Same thing in this study, they did see some increase in minor complications, but these are medically necessary procedures, so we have to really think long and hard when we're turning people down for top surgery. There is one caveat though I will mention when it comes to this. Certainly with different body types and larger body types, it does become more technically challenging, and we'll take certain precautions because there is an association with diabetes in folks with higher BMIs, and there's an association with sleep apnea and various other things that can cause problems around the time of surgery. So over a certain BMI, that in that situation we'll do the surgery not as an outpatient, but maybe keep the patient overnight. That's one thing to take into consideration. The second thing to take into consideration is, in my opinion, as a person who with a larger BMI, you do probably need somebody who has expertise in treating folks with the same types of body as your own. When you see a plastic surgeon before top surgery, you'll want to see their own before and afters and see other folks with similar body types to your own. And the reason is these are technically more difficult. It is more difficult to get a good aesthetic result. And when it comes to treating gender dysphoria, a good aesthetic result is very important, obviously, so that the body aligns with the patient's gender identity. So I definitely see a lot of folks who come to me from elsewhere for revisions, and most commonly it is in folks who do have higher BMIs because these surgeries are more technically difficult. And in some cases, the surgeon may want to do the surgery in two parts or will just leave behind dog ears. So in order to get a nice result, you probably need to find a surgeon who has a lot of expertise, number one. And number two, if the surgeon turns you down because of your BMI, you probably want to listen to them, because it may not necessarily be a safety issue as proven in this study, but it may be that their skill set is not going to meet your needs. And sometimes the best thing to do is just go ahead and find an expert. I understand it's difficult. Gender affirmation surgery, there's a ton of barriers to it. There's not many surgeons in the United States who have this expertise, and cost also comes into play, but just something worth thinking about in order to get a good aesthetic result. Try to find a surgeon who has a lot of experience, and you're going to want to see their before and afters. But this is a great study. It's going to open up the doors to a lot of patients in the future as surgeons understand that it's not a safety reason that holds back folks with higher BMIs from getting top surgery.